thrilled with us. The leader of that whole group that organizes that said they've never had such positive feedback as when we were there. What happened? They found out there was not a Gentile pulling saying, you Jew got to come over here. You've got to be like us. You've got to be Gentilized. But rather, here were some Gentiles who said, whoa, we're over here and we're so glad we're part of your inheritance. And it made them rejoice.
That's right. That's right. And they wanted to know, are there more of you out there?
That's right. Hungry to know if there's more of us out there. Now, what's going on? Right. Because you see, we can accept the fact that in Yeshua, there's neither Jew nor Gentile.
That's right.
We know something that hasn't been revealed. If they're a rabbinic Jew, it hasn't been revealed to them yet that we Gentiles are part of them.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? But to the Messianic Jews, that is. Now, by the way, you've heard me share in the past about Moshe, Kopensky in Jerusalem. He's a rabbinic Jew who knows I'm part of him.
That's right.
And he doesn't know what to do with that. And so what he describes it this way, we're on parallel paths.
That's right.
And somehow in the future, God does what only God can do.
I think he thinks it's in the Messianic age.
Yeah, that the parallel paths become one.
Somehow,
he says,
that's
I know parallel paths.
Somehow Hashem is going to merge those paths, those parallel paths together. If you know anything about parallel, they never meet, do they? But in Messiah, he can do everything. That's I know that's what he means. In the Messianic age, and it's like, that's now.
Moshe has shifted from, and he's in the heart of Jewish-Christian dialogue, so he knows what the Bible teaches in the New Testament far more than most Christians.
That's right.
He is a student of the New Testament scriptures. And so he sees Christians over there, and he sees himself over here. You know, and he sees Christians over there sometimes want to know what he believes, but they don't want to be in his family.
That's right.
And now he meets us, and we're on a journey, and he's predicted the journey all along. I mean, he knew we were going to move to Sabbath before we did.
That's right.
Simply by knowing what was happening inside of us, he knew Hashem was doing something, is the way he would put it. So he wasn't surprised when I said, by the way, Moshe, we now worship on Sabbath. He said, I'm not surprised. You know, and so, doing the rest is not surprised. He didn't say, were you wearing tzitzis? No, he's not surprised. Okay? But what he was surprised at and shocked at was when I told him I was at Mount Sinai with him.
Yeah.
You got to understand forever and eternity to understand that. Again, the rabbis say eternity. So they believe that every Jew, every believer in God, the God of Abraham, every believer stood at Mount Sinai.
That's an eternal concept.
And heard the law spoken. That's why it rings true in you as a believer. They believe that.
That's right.
But so when I went to him and said, Moshe, I discovered something I'm so thrilled about. You and I remember looking at him right now, you and I stood together at the foot of Mount Sinai. That's right. And then I played that song to him.
That's right.
That said, we've gone our separate ways. It seems like we're speaking over, but we know we were there together. Man, he just welled up with tears because right away, he knows. He absolutely knows. He can't explain it. He just knows I was there.
That's an eternal concept.
Why? Because from the vantage point of eternity, God does something.
That's right.
God does something. Paul's got a hold of that.
Yes, he does.
He says, in Yeshua, there's neither Jew nor Gentile. The Gentile comes into the family so that the difference is erased.
That's right.
Now, look at Ephesians chapter 2. You getting anything out of this? See, when this gets in you, you're going to be flat turned on at what you have. Yep. I'll tell you, when that guy said to me out in California that day, when he looked at my seats and said to my manager, oh, I know who he is. He's a member of the tribe.
Yes.
He thought I was Jewish because I had the tzitzits on, and a member of the tribe. I mean, something changed in me that day. I just went, I'm home. I got a place. All right, now watch this. Ephesians chapter 2. Where are we? Verse
14 and 15.
14 and 15. Would you read that?
For he himself is our peace, who has made the two one and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility, by abolishing in his flesh the law with its commandments and regulations. His purpose was to create in himself one new man out of the two, thus making peace, and in this one body to reconcile both of them to God through the cross, by which he put to death their hostility. Do you want 17
yeah,
as
that's
well?
fine. So there's this dividing wall Paul talks about, and he talks about the fact that the dividing wall has been broken. Well, what on earth is this dividing wall? Donna?
The dividing wall in Hebrew is a mechitza. It literally means that which divides something in half.
So that's the wall we see in a synagogue. That's the
Yes.
wall that would be there that would separate the men from the
men
women,
from the
for
women.
example. That's what they would refer to it.
Yep.
But,
And
but
in the
Paul's
temple.
not talking about
No.
the synagogue here. He's
Right.
talking about the temple.
About the
And
temple
in the
wall.
temple, there was a wall. So let me build a wall. So there was a wall, and Josephus tells about this.
That's right, he
And,
does.
and think back now to your Sabbath school, Sunday school teaching about the temple, okay? That outside the wall,
Right.
anybody can be. The Gentiles can be a boundary fence or a barrier. And Josephus tells us, what, there was a sign there.
Yeah, it said, that the sign said it forbade any foreigners to go in on pain of death.
Right, and the zealots were the ones that
Yeah,
wanted to
would
make sure
enforce
the
that.
penalty was enforced. So here I am, a Gentile. You can be the Jew. Yay! And here I am, I'm the Gentile, you know, and there's a lot going on. It's a Feast of Tabernacles, it's whatever, you know, throngs of crowd. And I'm just curious. I really want to know, you know. And so I approach the temple. I'm in awe.
Yes.
I mean, you look at the temple, go look at the temple model. I mean, that thing was like mammoth over the city.
That's right.
Wherever you are in the city, you see that thing, you know? And so you start approaching it, and whoa, and there's hundreds, thousands, in fact,
right.
inside this courtyard. And so you start going, and you come up, and here's this wall. It was probably about that high.
Yep.
And there's a sign on it. Gentiles are forbidden to enter on penalty of death.
That's right.
And I look around, and it's like, well, I'm not going to, I might want to be in there. Why? Why would I want to be in there? Well, they're having fun.
That's where it's all happening.
It's all happening. There's life in there. I want the benefit of it.
That's right.
But I'm a Gentile, and I can't get in there. Now, what's my choice? My one choice is that I can become a proselyte. I can convert
That's right.
and become a Jew, and there's a process in the Scriptures whereby I can become a Jew.
That's right.
But for many reasons, maybe that's not what I want to do. I can become a God-fearer. Cornelius was a
A
God-fearer.
righteous Gentile.
The centurion was a God-fearer, okay? And Yeshua found great faith in the centurion.
That's right.
I mean,
More
Yeshua,
faith than anyone
he didn't have
else.
any problem with the fact that faith was here, but as that faithful centurion who believed in the God of Abraham, I'm not a Jew. I can't cross that line.
That's right.
I believe in God. I believe in your moral code. I don't eat kosher, of course, but I mean, you know, I try to keep the commandments. I try to do things. Why? Because I can see that's a good moral life and it has positive, good results. So I'm adopting some of the thinking of the people inside this courtyard. And I might even go to synagogue. Why would I go to synagogue? Because they teach you there about that, and I want to learn. I want to learn how to live a healthy life and a right life. So I go to synagogue, but I'm still a Gentile. And so I come up, and here's this barrier, and I cannot enter it on
right.
penalty of death.
Mm-hmm.